Hi, welcome back to another video. I'm going to share with you guys some really simple meal prep. Now, this video is actually going to be meal prep that you can use if you're trying to lose weight or if you're just trying to eat healthier, just to prepare ahead of time for your week. Now, stay tuned to my channel because this video will tie into my next video next week because I'm going to be using these things that I've meal prepped as we go travel as a family on a road trip. Now, a huge part of losing weight is planning ahead, and if you have the chance to prep some things ahead, it's always a great idea because there's always unknowns when it comes to your week. You don't know what's going to happen, and if you have something already at least halfway ready, you're ahead of the game. Meal prepping does not have to be complicated. You don't have to get like 50 million little trays to be able to put everything together. It's just helping yourself out by making a couple things ahead of time, and that's really, I feel, the best way to succeed. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. If you know anybody who needs some help with meal prepping ideas that are really simple and easy to do, share this video with them. And without further ado, let's get into the recipe. Okay, as you can see, I'm not messing around when it comes to bulk goods. This is where I have all of these dried black beans. I keep these in the garage and then I just fill this up as I need. And then I'm just about out of rice as well. So I've got this brown rice, and both of these I got at Costco. First off, I'm just making some brown rice because I like to have it on hand, whether I'm gonna have it with the things that I share with you here or just to have throughout the week. Now I'm chopping up some onion and some garlic, as well as a bell pepper. In a large frying pan, I'm just heating up some vegetable broth. I'm adding the onions, the red bell pepper, and the garlic, and just sauteing that on a medium heat. In another pot, I'm just allowing the black beans to cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'm draining them. And then it's just as simple as adding everything into the crock pot. So I'm adding the veggies that I cooked, the beans, I'm adding some cumin, a little bit of either raw sugar or coconut sugar, some salt, some pepper, white vinegar, sherry wine, a bay leaf, and water to fill the crock pot. Stir this around until it's combined and cook on high for 5 to 7 hours depending on your crock pot. Now, I just want to give you a perspective of how long this is going to take. Basically, well, it's taking longer because I'm actually filming the steps for you guys. All in all, maybe it's taken me an hour to an hour and a half to prep something. And if you're pretty organized ahead of time, just knowing exactly what ingredients you need to have in your house, then you're going to find that this goes by super quick. And meal prepping is really like most things that you dread. You dread that it's going to take forever, so you keep procrastinating on it and you don't want to do it. And then you do it and you're like, actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought. So if that's you and that's what you're thinking, just know it's not as bad as you think. All right, this is a marinara I make a lot of times, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of a twist by adding some lentils. So first I'm just chopping my veggies. I'm using yellow onion, carrot, celery, a yellow bell pepper, and I'm just chopping those things up ahead of time. Again, in a large frying pan, putting in my vegetable broth. I'm sauteing the carrot, the celery, the onion, and the garlic first for a couple of minutes, then adding in the yellow bell pepper, as well as a little bit of rice vinegar. Next up, I'm adding in tomato paste, my dried spices. I'm using thyme, basil, and oregano, garlic powder, and then just a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. I'm adding in 1 can of diced tomatoes, and then I'm adding in the cup of cooked lentils, letting this saute on low for about 10 to 15 minutes until it's done. The longer you let it sit, the better it gets. To bake my potatoes, I'm just preheating my oven to 400, poking some holes in the larger potatoes and throwing them into the oven for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the size of your potatoes. making a cashew cream, I'm using raw cashews, water, lemon juice, and a little bit of salt. For me, it's really important to have some kind of creamy sauce that is adaptable throughout the week, and this cashew sour cream is really that. I can put things like smoked paprika in there or nutritional yeast to change up the taste, and it's really versatile to last throughout the whole week. Okay, all the meal prep is done at this point. I'm just waiting about 10 more minutes for the potatoes to be done. And I thought it would be kind of interesting for you guys to see some different combinations of how you can throw these things together. There's literally so many different combinations that you can put these together, but I'm gonna just show you a couple that I would typically have. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite ways to plate these up, and hopefully it will give you some inspiration to make these meals stretch at least 3 days, if not a little bit longer. Now, typically when you think of a marinara sauce, you would have it with pasta, but I'm going for that whole grain goodness. So I'm going to use the brown rice that I made along with some of the lentil marinara and a dollop of that cashew cream sauce on top. Next up is a loaded baked potato. I'm using black beans, a little bit of avocado and tomato, some green onion, cilantro, and hot sauce. A little bit of lime juice, and of course, another dollop of that cashew cream. Tastes amazing. Serving this with a side salad. Actually, everything could be served with a side salad. Now, if you want to make a big salad, this is what I'm going to show you here. Pile up as many greens as you'd like. I'm using mixed greens here and some microgreens, some tomatoes, quarter of an avocado. And I'm going to make this kind of a ranch flavored dressing. I'm going to use things like dried parsley and dried dill, salt and pepper, a little bit of lemon juice, maybe even apple cider vinegar, and yes, I am using a Walmart syringe to pour my cashew cream sauce on top. I'm serving this with some of the baked potatoes, and you can add salt and it tastes amazing. You've got yourself a ranch salad. Next up, we're making a little burrito. So rice and beans, really simple, using the cashew cream again, some hot sauce. You can throw whatever veggies you'd like to inside. Adding some cucumber or zucchini, green onions, maybe some red cabbage, some lime juice. Do it to your liking, roll it up, and you're good to go. Now, in addition to this, there's so many other options. Actually, something that I really enjoyed eating was having the lentil marinara and the black beans and the rice and the potatoes together. Sounds super strange, but the flavor combination is really good. All right, so here are just a couple of combinations that came off the top of my head. There's a lot more things that you can do with this to make it, your own, but this food is really, when you talk about staples, this is talking about exactly what we made here. We've got veggies, we've got starch, we've got protein, and it's really something that's going to be very hearty and keep variety in your week without feeling monotonous, even though you are eating the same thing over and over. All right, I hope you guys got some inspiration from this meal prep, and I just want to reiterate, meal prep really does not need to be complicated. I want it to work for your life. So take the recipes that sounded good to you and work for your schedule and your life and make them work in your week. When it comes to weight loss or just succeeding on eating healthier, you have to have forethought and plan in advance. And this is a really easy way to throw that into your week without making you feel like you're tied to eating the same thing every single day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share it with a friend who needs some meal prep help. As always, the recipes will be down in the description below for you guys to take advantage of. And leave a comment and let me know what you feel would be the most doable recipe for you to prepare ahead of time. That's how you build success. One small building block on top of another, and keeping it super duper consistency. Remember to stay tuned for my next video next week, where I'm going to show you how I actually practically put this into use while I am on the road traveling, and how to stay consistent even when there's a lot of variables that are inconsistent. Thanks for watching. Bye.